Hey there, Ashley Fields here with Fields Accounting Firm. This is a Get Ready With Me tax addiction for businesses. I am going to go through my business tax checklist. So, if you are a sole proprietor, an LLC, a nonprofit, a corporation, or even a partnership, this video is for you. I actually have in house a business tax checklist that I provide to all of my existing clients and new clients year after year so that I can help them prepare in terms of gathering their documents before they schedule their tax appointment. And so, although you are not a client of mine's, I am, of course, accepting clients. Although I am stationed here in Georgia, I am licensed to practice in all 50 states. And so, although you're not physically located here in Georgia, I am able to still service you virtually, whether that be via telephone or via Google Meet or Zoom. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump into this business tax checklist. I'm going to quickly skim through so I can let you know what documents that you need to be on the lookout for. I know that the tax season recently started, but these are tax documents that you should be on the lookout for. And of course, whatever does not apply, disregard, okay? So here is the small business tax checklist. The checklist is actually 8 pages, and I'm actually going to tell you why. There's really good stuff in this tax checklist. So if you don't have any accounting systems such as QuickBooks or Xero, I actually have a fillable documents into the system that we'll actually talk about in about 2 slides after this one. Okay. So the first page is actually just information. I encourage business owners to log into their Internal Revenue Service account and download their 1099, I'm sorry, tax and wage account transcript. I'm thinking about 1099K, but that's not what I meant. I meant to log into their Internal Revenue Service account and download their wage and account transcript. The reason why I actually encourage this is because this will help aid you in your document gathering because you will see what income for whatever sources that you've made money from in your business that was actually reported to the Internal Revenue Service. You would see if it came from Square or PayPal or whatever merchant company that you use. They actually report this information to the Internal Revenue Service. So that's why I encourage that you download your wage and tax transcript. So on this first page is just key information, like I mentioned, the business tax transcript. And if you are an existing client or a new client, I show you how to upload your documents into our portal. We do not take documents physically or via email. Everything is exchanged through our portal in terms of your tax documents, your tax return, even payments are all sent through our portal system. So that's the first page. We're going to go ahead and go into the second page. So as you can see, the whole business tax checklist is actually fillable. So if you don't have an online accounting system such as QuickBooks or Xero, you're actually able to fill in this document for you. And believe it or not, our business tax checklist, if you complete this, will actually make you compliant at federal and state level because you are including all of your information, and this is accountant approved. I've worked on this for years. So the second page includes part A is the income. So this includes like your gross receipts from sales or services. And if you don't have an online accounting system, I would actually suggest that you either log into your business bank account and download your bank statements and go through month by month and separate your gross income, which will be considered your deposits on your bank statements. If you only use maybe one or two merchant companies, such as Square, you can actually log into your Square account and print what's called a report, your sales report, to see how much income that you brought in for the year, and you can also break it down by the month. But so number one is gross receipts from sales or services. Number two, your sales records. So if a business is unsure what they've actually made, every merchant company, if you were paid more than $600, will report this income to the Internal Revenue Service, and they will issue what's called a 1099K. This is always, for the most part, available by the deadline every single year, which is the last day of January, which is January 31st. I'm thinking of estimated tax payments. But these merchant companies must provide these documents before the federal deadline, which is January 31st of every single year. So, part A is all about your income. We want to know your returns and your allowances. And the reason why we want to know this is because we want to make sure that we offset this against your income, because we don't want you being taxed at federal and state level on your business income if you actually had a return of service or a product from a customer. So this is part A. This is all strictly income. Part B is all expenses. Like I mentioned before, this checklist is fillable, and I'll be sure to make this checklist available in the description. I'll provide the link on where to actually download this. So part B is all expenses. So you'll need to compile your advertising expenses, transportation and travel, any local transportation. We're right now at number three. I'm sorry, number two. Number three is commissions paid to subcontractors. Depending on what type of business you have and depending on what your pay structure is, if you have contractors, maybe you pay your contractors a commission based on how much service they bring in. That's what number three is speaking of. Depreciation. So if you have a computer or a printer or a business vehicle, you're actually able to depreciate this information. If you don't know the depreciation expense itself, when you come and file your taxes, you will just simply need to bring in your receipt of your purchase, and your accountant will be able to depreciate this on their end. Number five is fringe benefits. Fringe benefits is not common for small businesses, I've noticed. And I'm actually going to do a video just explaining more in detail on what that is. But fringe benefits is just any employer paid pensions or contributions. Maybe you do 401k matching in your business. Any employer paid health insurance premiums that you may offer. This is typically what fringe benefits are. So if this does not apply, go ahead and skip to the next number, such as number six. Business insurance. This includes casualty loss insurance, errors and omissions. As an accounting practitioner, I have to carry errors and omission insurance. Number seven is interest insurance. Number eight is legal fees. Number nine is office supplies such as pens, paper, staples, etc., or other consumables. So each business is not all created equal. I'm an accounting firm and you could be something completely different. And so your business expenses will look completely different from mine. But whatever is considered a supply in your business, you can claim that any type of business expense that's needed to operate your business, no matter what it is, as long as it's associated to your business, you can actually write this off. Number 10 is rent expense. So I actually have a standalone office here in Georgia, and so I pay my landlord's rent for my for my commercial space every single month. And so this is to be written off on my taxes. Now, this is not to be confused with the home office deduction. This is a completely separate expense from your traditional P&L. So when you make your tax appointment with your accountant, you want to make sure that you separate your home office expenses, because this is actually calculated completely different from a direct expense if you have like a commercial space or a standalone space. So if you are a home business, make sure you do not include this on your P&L. You want to make sure that you separate this in terms of like your rent, your mortgage, any utilities, any repairs or maintenance you had to pay for to just make your space comfortable for you to work. You're actually able to write that off, but it is a separate expense because it's based on the total square foot of your home and then the total square foot of your actual office space. So even if you're working at your kitchen table, all of that is configured completely different from what's a general expense. If I'm not making sense on that in terms of the difference between your rent expense and home office expense, let me know in the comment section. And I will definitely create another video just diving more deep in detail on that topic. Number 11 is office and home. Like I said, this is necessarily separate. So even though it's on the tax checklist, when you book an appointment with Fields Accounting Firm, we actually ask more information on the total square foot of your home and all that other stuff that I just mentioned. Number 12 is wages paid to employees. So if you have a business and you are paying yourself and you are considered a contractor or a W 2, we would need to know how much you actually paid out to yourself and to others so that we can be sure to write this off on your taxes. Other expenses include repairs, maintenance of office facility, etc. So any other business related expense that falls under the category of repairs and maintenance, you can actually claim that on your taxes, but it has to be associated with your business. It cannot be considered personal. It must be considered business for you to be compliant. Number 14 is health insurance. So if you have marketplace insurance, but you pay your premiums from your business account, this is totally fine. But we want to know how much premiums that you've paid out of pocket because we want to make sure that you write this off on your taxes, okay? Let's go down to page 5. Wow, we're skimming right on through. So part C is just a checklist that lets us know what documents that you are including so that while we are filing your taxes, we don't miss any important documents. So we have your W-2, 1099-B, which is, of course, if you have stocks or dividends. This document is provided from your brokerage account. So whether that be TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, just to name a few, that 1099-B will be available inside of your brokerage account. 1099 dividend, this comes from your bank. 1099 retirement. You should know if you take money or withdraw money from your 401k or your self-employed IRA, you will be issued a 1099-R. And hopefully you are getting that pre-taxed because that is considered income if you don't meet the age requirement. The next form is 1099 interest, 1099-G, which is pretty much gambling income. Maybe you won money at blackjack at the casino or slot machine, whatever. You will be issued a 1099-G depending on how much you've actually won. 1099 NEC is what you would have if somebody paid you income for your business. So maybe you have an outsourced relationship or a client that pays your business directly and they paid you more than $600. That business will actually issue you a 1099 NEC, which is just a tax document that shows what they paid your business. And this document, of course, has been reported to the Internal Revenue Service. 1099 SSA, this is a Social Security document. 1099A is associated with the marketplace insurance. So if you have marketplace insurance, you must provide this 1099 document because you won't even be able to e-file your tax return if you have marketplace insurance, only because the premium tax credit is associated with that. This is also reported to the Internal Revenue Service. So if we file your tax return and you actually have marketplace insurance, but you forgot to provide that document to us, our systems nationwide, it's just not my tax system, it's all tax systems. It's all embedded because we are all under the same federal guideline. It will be rejected automatically. So if you have marketplace insurance, log into your account and provide either the 1099A or the 1099C. This will be located in your account if available. If not, I would hop on the phone just to be on the safe side. But if you do have a 1099-C, this is actually not necessarily required to be filed, only the 1099-A. Alrighty, so right here on the right, we have all the 1099-K merchant companies listed, that at least what I see in my office, and that is Square, PayPal, Venmo, and Clover. Those are the most popular merchant companies that I see. That's why I have Square at the top. I see a lot of Square. Square is very popular. I use Square. Retirement contribution. So if you have a retirement plan and you contribute it to your retirement plan, you are able to contribute this, file this on your tax return as a business expense. We have partnerships. So if you have another separate business that's considered a partnership, you would need to provide also your K1 because that K1 has either income or a loss that must be reported on your personal tax return or on your business. Okay. S Corp K1, that's S Corporation. Any other businesses that you have, you want to include that document as well. So right here also on page 5 is your business information. This is only necessary if you are becoming a client of Fields Accounting Firm. We want to know your business name to make sure that we are spelling your business name correctly. We need your EIN number, your address. We want to know your entity type, and of course, we need to attach your ID. Because this is required by law that we enter your driver's license detail in addition to your social security number. Alrighty, so the first 5 pages is just strict checklist. Now, the last 3 pages are actually fillable documents, and this comes in handy for any business owner out there that does not have an official accounting system such as QuickBooks or Xero. We actually created fillable P&Ls for you where you are able to include your operating income and all of your business expenses. So you're actually able to input this information separately, and this will make you compliant. So here is the business P&L. We have the income and the expenses separated. Now, this fillable document is really popular within the company because a lot of businesses, new startups to be more exact, they want to keep their overhead low, and so they don't want to rush out and automatically get QuickBooks or Xero. They want to use any type of manual systems that they can find. And so this tax checklist comes in handy because it does come with a fillable business P&L. And then we also list on page 7 all of your business expenses so that this can kind of help you understand like what expenses that you need to look out for, just so you don't miss anything. We have all the possible business expenses out there, so there's nothing that's missed here. And then our last page is our fillable mileage log. Right now, I think it's 64.5 cents per mile that you get a credit for. And so we want to make sure that you get your deduction, your mileage deduction. But to claim this deduction, you must be compliant by having some type of mileage log. Now, I know there are a lot of mileage logs out there that require that you enter your business address, but we don't have that on ours. We just need the date, your business purpose. You need to tell us why you traveled to this address. We need the start odometer, the end odometer, total miles, and then make any necessary notes, such as visited John Doe to deliver the box of products or whatever the purpose of the trip was. You just want to make sure that you cover your back and include additional information in the event of an audit. All right. So yeah, this is our business tax checklist, and I'll be sure to include the link to the description on where to download this on my website. But there are a total of 8 pages. The last 3 pages are fillable documents to include your P&L and your mileage log, and so which is perfect for any business owner that does not have QuickBooks or Xero. All righty. So if you have any additional questions, be sure to comment below and I will answer you more directly. And also be sure to subscribe and like this video for more accounting tips. Until next time.